My name is Antonychenn, and this is everything I cook in a week as a 22-year-old content creator living in LA. All right, hello everyone, welcome back. As you can see, just finished the grocery haul and we have 2 bags of groceries from our preferred destination, which is H Mart. I used to shop at like 99 Ranch, but I found that some of like the produce, the quality was like kind of hit or miss, but H Mart has definitely been a little bit more consistent and they have basically everything that I need. So yeah, I typically do most of my grocery shopping at H Mart these days. Now, the reason I actually wanted to make this video was not because I am becoming a food channel, although I swear all of my vlogs are just like about food. It's not like that though, I swear. But some of y'all in the comments seem to not believe that I have some form of culinary capability. So I thought this would be a good sneak peek just into what I cook, what I eat on a weekly basis, and just take you guys along with me. It should be fun. It will definitely be a little bit scuffed just because I'm not gonna lie, it is very, very hard to film at the same time as I am like just trying to make dinner on a weekday, but I will do my best just for you, okay? Now, this week's grocery bill came out to $95.94, and this is for 4 nights of cooking, so basically 4 dinners, as well as, you know, this isn't just the food. Obviously, there's other stuff, like I had to restock some mirin, a couple other cooking supplies, but yeah, that is just like typically what a weekly grocery bill for me will look like. Right after I get home, the first thing that I like to do is obviously unpack the groceries. These have actually been sitting here for like 10 minutes now, so I gotta get a move on. After that, I will do just a little bit of prep, like, you know, chopping up some vegetables so I don't have to do it throughout the rest of the week. And then that should be it for today. So let me get all of this sorted and I will see you guys tomorrow for our very first recipe of the week. Hi, welcome back. It is the next day and we are going to get started with dinner here. Now, throughout the week, I usually stick to about the same menu for every single day of the week, and it always starts on Monday with a soup as well as, drumroll please, boom, meat. Monday is always our beef days, so we will be cooking a nice, delicious meal, and I will be taking you guys along with me here. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, this goes for every single meal that I make. It always starts with rice. I know everyone has, you know, their different preferences for carbs. Some people like bread, some people like noodles. I am very much a rice person, so maybe it's because I'm Asian. No offense to my family or anything like that, but I ate refrigerated rice, leftover reheated rice for like 18 years straight growing up. I'm just so sick of it. I like my rice fresh, so we are cooking a new batch of rice every single day. I know some people measure by like their index finger or something. I always just eyeball it. It usually turns out okay. And I go with the quick option. And nice. Rice is the first part of our meal, but every single week on Mondays, I will also cook a soup that I can, you know, just reheat throughout the week. I usually cycle between 2 different soups, either broccoli soup or lotus root soup, which both I learned from my mom, by the way. Shout out, Mom. Today, we are going to be doing lotus root soup, so let me show you how exactly I do that. Okay, first things first, the soup is a pork-based soup, so I have some baby back ribs here. We're gonna fill our pot with water, just a little bit. You don't want like too much water. Gonna turn on the heat here, and then ribs in, as you can see, just below the surface of the water line. And you're going to let this boil. This will just draw out all the blood from the bones and give you a very, very nice, clear broth for your soup. Okay, while the ribs are boiling, we're gonna prep some of the other ingredients for the soup, and that is primarily lotus root here. Gonna wash, peel, and cut this into pieces so we can use it in our soup here. Low-key, I've never seen a lotus root that is this long. This thing is massive. All right, there you go. This is all of the lotus root. Okay, as you can see, the ribs are almost boiling, and all of that scum on the top that is coming out, that is blood from the bones of the pork. So we're gonna let this come into a full boil, and then I will strain this off and we will put it into our wonderful pressure cooker here. Meat in the pressure cooker, all of your lotus root, and then I'm gonna top this all off with water here. All right, next we have a couple of secret ingredients here. Secret ingredient number one is this. These are pitted jujube, basically dried dates. I usually throw 2 in there. And the second secret ingredient is this right here. This is chicken powder, and it basically goes in almost everything I cook. You want the secret to Asian cuisine, it is this right here. And then of course we have a little bit of salt too. All right, once you have everything in, lid goes on. Seal the pressure cooker, it goes on high, and we're gonna wait for this to actually come to a boil. The next thing that we're actually going to prep is going to be our greens of the day, and that is this, which is another recipe I learned from my mom. These ones here are the cucumbers we're using. These are actually, I think, Korean cucumbers. I usually use like Persian pickles. Editor can put a picture of them on the screen. They didn't have any this week for some reason. This is the first week I've gone to H-Mart and they haven't had them in stock. So I don't know what's going on with the produce this week, but decided to switch to Korean cucumbers for today though. Just gonna give them a quick rinse. Okay, after you have all of your cucumbers dried, just going to trim off the ends here, and you will slice them. We're gonna go down lengthwise, and then we're actually going to cut lengthwise again. I think we're gonna go one more time in half here. So just like these little bite-sized pieces, and we're gonna toss them in a little container. We're gonna go a little bit of salt. This will be washed off later, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, am I like over seasoning? Like, is it gonna be too salty? You'll be fine. You're gonna give these guys a shake. This is what you should have by the end of it. Just, you know, cucumbers sliced and salted. And we're gonna leave this in the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, while we wait for the cucumbers and of course the soup to finish, we are actually going to work on the main course of our meal tonight, which is going to be gyudon. We are going to have beef with onion. Usually I just use half an onion, I save the other half, throw it in a Ziploc bag. Now for the actual slices, we are going to cut in half again, turn it on its side, and we're just gonna go slices like so. This way you get, you know, these types of cuts on your onions. I'm sure there's like a specific term for it, but hey, I took culinary arts in high school, okay? I don't remember much. Okay, while we're finishing up with the onions, our soup is actually boiling, and as you can see, the pressure is rising. So usually aim for about a little under 2 here. We're gonna turn the heat down to a low, and we're gonna let this cook for, I usually go 8.5, but 8.5 minutes on a 2 pressure here. Okay, we are on the final steps. Can't actually fit in frame, I'll try. But we are going to prep our base for the gyudon sauce here. Okay, the recipe is really simple. Grab our mirin here. It's supposed to be 4 tablespoons, I think, but I just go, we do a little bit of eyeball in here. Next, oh my God, I am also out of. You're gonna go 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Oh my God, I'm out. Bring out the reserves. Gonna put in half a cup of water. Just eyeball this, to be honest. Give it a little stir. And the secret ingredient is actually right here, the hondashi, which is bonito soup stock. Gives it like a very, very nice umami flavor. And for this, it's pretty simple. You could just give it a little sprinkle. Next, why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? I'm not, okay. In goes your onions. Give them a good mix, you know, spread them out evenly. And you're actually going to cook this on a low heat until it basically comes to a simmer. Okay, soup is done, so we're going to turn the heat off and just let the pressure out. All right, moment of truth. And, ooh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That is good. So now we are going to put our beef in. This is thinly sliced beef, so it doesn't need too long, just until it browns. And after that, we'll be ready to go. Okay, wait, hold on guys. I actually completely forgot about the cucumbers. It's really simple though, let me show you real quick. Okay, step one, cucumbers. Cold water, and just rinse them out. You wanna get all the salt out of there. Step two, chicken powder. Just a bit. This is white pepper. Step four, a little bit of sesame oil. And this is the secret ingredient right here. Menmi soup base. Just a tiny bit in. Close. Shake. And there you have it. Best cucumbers you will ever eat. Oh, all right, let's eat. Low key, that took, okay, that didn't actually take as long as I thought it might. I figured since I was recording and it would be a little bit awkward to, you know, try to cook and film at the same time, it would take me a little bit longer. But, you know, we got through it at a decent pace. The unfortunate thing is, well, first bite. Here you go. That's good. The unfortunate thing is this is probably one of the most simple meals that I usually make on a weekly basis, and that was very difficult to film. I don't know how like food YouTubers do this. How do you film and cook at the same time? I was like stir the onions, running over to the camera, moving it to like somewhere else to like record myself like chopping stuff. Gotta like make sure the stuff doesn't overboil. Like this is truly an art. Food YouTubers, I have a newfound respect for you guys. But yeah, this has been day one, Monday. Stay tuned for day two. Hello everyone, welcome back to day two of cooking in this week. On the menu, we have salmon. Let's get started. Okay, yes, I put my hair up because I literally could not see anything yesterday. My hair is so long. I'm getting a haircut soon though, I swear. Anyways, that is not important. What is important is our recipe for today's dish, and that is of course with the salmon. Now, I do sometimes like to do pan-seared salmon. You know, it's very crispy and has a very nice flavor, but most of the time I opt for the easiest route, and that is to just throw the salmon in the oven and let it cook, you know, by itself, so I don't have to worry about it. What you're gonna wanna do to start this recipe is, of course, turn the oven on, and we're going to set this to bake, and it's going to be 375, and yeah, just let it start preheating here. So it'll get warm while we prep the rest of our salmon. Okay, now to actually prep the salmon, I do have this aluminum tray as well as parchment paper on the bottom, just because it avoids any spills and messes. On the top, we have aluminum foil with a little bit of tissue paper. You will see why in a second here, but we're gonna take our salmon, skin side down first. Just gonna pat it, get all the moisture off. Then we'll go the other way, pat it, get that moisture. Doesn't really matter too much. You don't need to get this like perfectly dry. It's not like we're searing it or anything, but next we're going to go salmon skin side up first. We're going to take a little bit of olive oil and just a couple drops. You don't need too much. Make sure to spread that evenly. Flip it over. Now we are skin side up, and we're going to go once again with a little bit of olive oil. And now for the seasonings, we have, of course, salt. I don't usually do like a ton, just a little bit is fine. I like to salt my salmon actually after. Just have garlic powder, a little bit of freshly ground black pepper, and last but not least, a little bit of thyme. Spread it evenly, make sure to coat the salmon, and there you have it. Okay, wash my hands real quick, but after all of this is done, we're simply going to wrap it up in the aluminum foil. Close one end, make sure there's a little bit of space near the top for the air to circulate, and then leave the other end slightly open here, just like that. And there you have it. Toss it in the oven on the top rack in the center at 375, and this is actually going to go for 23-ish minutes. So I just keep a stopwatch timer here, and yeah. Okay, while we wait for the salmon to finish cooking, we're actually going to work on a couple of other ingredients, and that is of course going to be number one, I just let the soup come to a boil. I put it on like a medium-high heat. You just gotta wait for all of the fat on top to dissolve, as well as our greens for the day, which if you don't remember from Sunday, we did prep some green beans. So let me show you how I like to cook my green beans. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take our pot and we are going to fill this with some water. Nothing crazy, just about like halfway full. Doesn't need to be a crazy amount. And we are actually going to bring this to a low boil on high heat, and we're gonna wait for it to just about be boiling here. Okay, while we wait for our water to come to a boil, we are going to prep the rest of the ingredients for the green beans, which is really just one. This is a very simple recipe, which shout out mom, I got from, my mom again, but it's just going to be a little bit of garlic. You can honestly use as much or as little garlic as you want. It's not like a make or break. Sometimes if I'm like too lazy to actually peel and dice the garlic, I'll just use like garlic powder. It's still about the same, but a little bit of garlic definitely does add that flavor for this green bean dish though. So, oh whoa, what happened to this one? Never seen that. Okay, with this garlic, going to trim off the ends here. And honestly, do you guys decore your garlic? I used to not, but as of recently, I've been kind of taking the cores out, but I don't know. You let me know. We're gonna take our garlic, and you can do thinly sliced pieces, really up to preference. I like to break mine down a little bit more. Going to slice thinly first and just mince afterwards. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, in the meantime, as you can see, our water has come to a boil. So we are going to take the green beans, however much you want. And once the green beans are in, you're just gonna let them boil for about 4 minutes here. Okay, it's been about 3.5, 4 minutes and the green beans have been boiling. We're pretty much done here. All we're gonna do is strain them afterwards. Just dump that water out. And do be careful, it's hot. Okay, now that your green beans are done, as you can see, you can actually finish them right away and do the final cooking process, which I will show you in just a sec. I like to run mine under cold water just because I like to use cold water to halt the cooking process, and this just allows the green beans not to, overcook while they're sitting here, and finish them in the pan. Yeah, if you're gonna eat them right away after you boil them, then you just continue with this next step. Okay, it's been almost 24 minutes and our salmon should be done here. Okay, moment of truth, and nice. Looks good to me. I'm going to keep this wrapped up a little bit here just to keep it warm, and we are going to finish up with the rest of our meal here. Okay, our soup has come to a boil, our salmon is done, so the final step in the process is just going to be finishing the green beans, and let me show you how to do that. All right, step one, we're gonna take our pan here, gonna put it on a medium heat, and we're going to drop just a little bit of oil. This is the garlic from earlier, and we're just gonna drop that in on the cold oil. All right, and then we're just gonna wait for this to start to sizzle a little bit and release some of that fragrance. You want it to be sizzling, but you don't want the garlic to actually brown yet. So just before it starts to brown here. Next, add in your green beans. It will sizzle and pop a little bit because there's water on them. And you're just gonna mix here. I actually like to do this over the sink because garlic tends to fly out of the pan sometimes. The goal here isn't really to cook the green beans. They should be pretty much almost done, but you're just reheating them and combining them with the garlic as well as some seasoning. We're gonna go here with salt to taste obviously, some chicken powder, and our secret ingredient this time is white pepper. And give that a good combine here, a good stir. All right, that should be everything. We have the salmon, we have rice, we have soup, and we have our green beans. And all that's left to do is I'm gonna quickly wash the dishes and then we are going to plate. Alrighty, let's eat. I do just have a little bit of flaky salt as well as some lemon juice on here that I will put on the salmon, but first bite, let's see it. Got our green beans as well. This is probably one of my favorite meals of the week. Also one of the most simple to cook, thankfully. Now I will say, I thought things were gonna get a little bit better as we progressed throughout the week. I thought, I would get more and more used to filming and it would be a lot easier to be able to cook and film at the same time, but bro, low-key, it got even harder for some reason. I don't know, I was like, there were just so many different things I was trying to keep track of on top of trying to figure out where I should place the camera, what I should be recording, what I'm gonna use in what section of this video. And honestly, my brain is just very, very frazzled, but hopefully the actual cooking was still somewhat manageable to follow along with. Sorry, editor, I'm sure you did a great job. But speaking of the rice cooker in the back, dude, when I made the rice, I forgot to put the inner lid on. It was still in the drying rack. I was just like, my brain was all over the place. Thankfully, the rice still came out all right, so it's okay. But anyways, day 3, tomorrow will surely be better, right? See you guys then. Hello, welcome back. It is Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. We are going to jump right in. On Monday, we did have beef. On Tuesday, we had salmon. And today, it's pork. Let's get started. If you guys haven't noticed, the theme of every single one of the meals that I cook is one vegetable dish, one main meat dish, and of course, soup and rice. Today's vegetable dish is actually going to be, once again, cucumbers, except this time we're gonna be doing them in a bit of a different style. So let me wash these real quick and then I will show you. And all we're going to do is similar to what we did on Monday. We're gonna slice these cucumbers, except this time I like to go in smaller sections, and I like to have them in a circular flat disc shape. This is really just preference. You can, like I said, cut them however you want. And of course we have, once again, our container Just toss them in there. All right, once again, like we did on Monday, we have salt, and we're just going to add a little bit to these cucumbers here. Put the lid on, we're gonna mix, and these go in the fridge. So yeah, pretty much the same. Okay, while we wait for our cucumbers to chill in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to start prepping the other ingredients here. So let me grab what we need. Garlic. Very simple, same thing as before. We're just going to literally just dice this. There we go, something like this right here. And I'm gonna transfer this off of the cutting board actually and onto a plate. Boom, garlic. All right, next, after our garlic, we are also going to prep a couple of stems of green onion here. Honestly, I like green onion a lot, so I use a little bit more, but you could probably get away with one stem. Are they even called stems? Take your green onion here. We're going to chop the ends off, cut in half, and these are going to be sliced into small bits as well here, so. And there we go, we have a sliced green onion. I'm gonna transfer that off the plate as well. It's been, I think, approximately 10-ish minutes. Cucumbers should be about ready to go. I'm gonna actually prep this first as well as our sauce, and then we will get into cooking the meat. The process is simple. It is also the same as the other day. Rinse out our cucumbers in cold water. Just get that salt off of them. They brine for long enough here. No! All right, we've got our cucumbers. The rest of the process is very simple. Going to take some of the green onion, a little over half, I guess. Some of the garlic as well. I'm gonna throw most of it in. Have about this much left here. All right, then in with the cucumbers, we're gonna go with a little bit of soy sauce. Not too much, just a little, probably like half a tablespoon, honestly. We're also going to go with rice vinegar. A little bit more than the soy sauce, but not too much. Some sugar. This is actually what I forgot to add to the gyudon. Probably like 2 teaspoons. And some sesame oil to finish it off here. Just a slight drizzle. You can do more or less if you like. All right, finally, our secret ingredients. We have sesame seeds. I love sesame seeds. Just throw them in there. And some red pepper powder. I don't do too much, but a good amount is nice. And of course, our secret ingredient here is actually kimchi juice. I like to drop a couple in here just to really get the flavor as well. Can't forget about the juice. There you have it. Very, very simple. All right, final step in this process. You probably already did this, but we're going to take the container, close the lid, mix it up real good, and moment of truth. Voila, a wonderful cold cucumber salad. That hits the spot. Okay, we aren't done yet though. We aren't done yet because of course we have not cooked our meat. Pause. And as you saw earlier, we do have some pork belly. This is very, very simple, very, very easy to do. Yeah, you're just gonna basically grill it on your pan. So let me do that real quick and we will have dinner ready to go. You want to cook, you can't be scared of oil splatters. Actually, you can be scared. I'm pretty scared sometimes. I'm more hungry than scared though, so. All right, once it's ready to go, I just take a plate with a paper towel on it and we're gonna grab this and plate it up. The paper towel is just to like absorb all the extra excess oil. All right, I'm going to strain this oil here, and we're gonna repeat this process once again for the remaining half of the pork belly. So let me cook this real quick, and then I'll see you in a second here. Okay, while that pork belly is cooking, I actually have one final thing I like to do for this meal, and that is make the dipping sauce. Now, I know that this is, you know, pork belly, as you can see. This is a pork belly meal, but I really, really, really love brisket dipping sauce. So that's usually what I use, but obviously you can use whatever you want here. But we're just gonna take the rest of that garlic and a little bit of green onion, not all of it, obviously. Gonna put our ingredients in there, and then we're just gonna go with a little bit of soy sauce, probably about like 1 tablespoon. We don't need too much sauce, honestly. A little bit of sugar. Also, I used way less than 1 tablespoon. This is probably like half a tablespoon. Rice vinegar, once again. You can use equal parts of rice vinegar and soy sauce. I use a little bit less. And then just dilute with water. Mix, and there you have it. We should be good. And there you have it. All that's left to do is plate, and we should be good to go. All right, let's eat. Into our dipping sauce. Some of that garlic and green onion in here as well. Damn, this turned out really nice. I guess the Korean cucumbers are pretty good for this one. This recipe at least. Just perfect. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite meals ever. Of course, we also have our day 3 soup here. The soup just gets like more and more infused with flavor as the week goes on, and yeah. And if you have watched, you know, until now, we are officially halfway through the week, which is crazy. When I first started this on Monday, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna get through the entire week trying to film and cook at the same time? But hey, halfway through, only 2 more days left, Thursday and Friday, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Today was honestly a lot better than yesterday, I think just because today's recipe is a little bit more simple, not as much cooking. The only cooking part is really just pan frying the pork belly, that I was able to kind of condense all the steps in my head and be like, okay, this is kind of like what I need to film here, but after this video, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do this again. I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of difficult, but hey, I'm having fun, and I hope you guys are having fun watching this video as well. So I'm going to devour this dinner, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for day 4. Cheers. Hello everyone, and welcome back to day 4 of Cooking with Anthony. It's not a real thing. Tonight, I am definitely feeling just a little bit more lazy. It is pretty late, and I don't want to do, you know, a bunch of cooking and scrambling around. So we're gonna go for a nice and easy, simple one-pot meal that is still hearty and filling. And that is going to be with, of course, chicken winter dinner. Let's get started. Okay, so like I said, this is a one-pot meal, so we are going to be cooking it all in the rice cooker here. First step is, as always, just like all the other days, we're gonna wash some rice. Honestly, for this one, you don't need too much rice. I will let you know what we are cooking exactly in a second here, but if you use too much rice, it will tend to soak up all the liquids in this dish. So I use about half a cup. I find that that provides a good portion serving for 2 people with some leftover as well. All right, rice is cooked, so we are going to put it in the rice cooker pot, of course. Speaking of rice cooker pot, I was actually looking for a replacement one today. And did you know that these pots are like being scalped for $100 on Amazon? That is crazy for one replacement pot. Anyways, rice goes in and we're gonna prep some of the other ingredients here. Okay, ingredient number 2 is actually ginger. Boom. But I forgot to buy ginger, so we're gonna have to make do here. So I have a little bit of ground ginger, although I'm not gonna use too much of this, just a little bit, and some other, you know, ground flaky ginger that I have. But yeah, if you were using it normally, you just get ginger, you peel it, cut it up into like thin little juliennes, and then just put a little bit in there. But I hope I didn't put too much. Here's what we're looking like so far. Nice. All right, next ingredient is something we're actually going to need to chop. And if you guessed green onion, you would be so right. I'm gonna use 3 whole stems here. Okay, sorry, slight correction, I actually can't count, but we are using 4 stems, cut off the ends, of course, and this will go in half. And we're actually going to leave a couple of these aside. You're gonna cut them not into like super thin slices or anything like that. Definitely have like a little bit more larger chunks on this. And just like that. Okay, this green onion is done. It will go actually straight into the rice cooker pot. Now that you have your ginger and your green onion in there, time for a couple of extra ingredients. First one is this. What is this? I actually have no idea. This is what my mom gave me to make chicken soup. I usually put like a piece or 2 in there. I'm just gonna throw 1 piece in. 1 piece, oh my gosh. But what exactly is it? Some sort of herb? I don't know. I was given this in a plastic Ziploc bag, like some sort of family secret. So you're gonna have to ask my mom for this. But if anyone recognizes this, I use it to make like chicken soup. It's very, very fragrant. I'm sure someone out there has to know, right? And then if you remember from Monday, we do have the pitted jujubes, and I do use 2 of these in this recipe as well. All right, next we're going to grab some chicken stock, and we are actually going to, I think I'm gonna use all of this here. Usually 1 of these containers, so about like 3 cups of chicken stock. But honestly, I tend to eyeball this, so. Just gonna fill it up with some water as well. Just dilute it a little bit. Next step, of course, the most important ingredient here. I was gonna say the chicken because I was gonna put that in, but I just realized we do also need to go in with a little bit of chicken powder. And actually no salt right now, you can salt to taste. I tend to do that afterwards though. And then most important step, finally here, we have chicken drumsticks. I was gonna say thighs for some reason, but yeah, I go in with some chicken drumsticks, use it to stir. And you want the liquid to be covering just about the surface here. Just like that is perfect. And if there's a little bit left over, you know, poking out, you can fill the extra space with a little bit of water. That should be it, and this is below the surface now, so we are good to go. Now, I actually got this recipe from an Instagram reel. Boom, right here, shout out. This is a great recipe. I tweaked the little things on my own, but I believe in this recipe, they actually use chicken thighs, so you could probably use whatever cut of chicken you like. I honestly prefer the drumsticks because I like eating drumsticks, so that's why I used it, but put it in the rice cooker in all its glory. This thing looks beautiful. Look at that, gorgeous. Smells super fragrant as well. Go ahead, close the rice cooker. We're going to set this to cook on porridge, and just like that, and start. Okay, so remember how I said to save a couple of the green onion stems? Well, that is because we're going to prep it right now. This is actually going to be garnish for the congee, and that is after it's cooked, but I don't want this green onion to actually be cooked in the rice cooker. So I slice this up and throw it on there afterwards. Once I have that sliced, just gonna go ahead and save it on the side here. All right, second thing we are going to prep is, if you guys remember, we do still have green beans left over from prepping on Sunday. So we are going to have those once again, finish them off here on Thursday. But of course that requires a little bit of garlic. So I'm going to prep this as well and put it off to the side. And once the congee is almost done, I will cook up the green beans and we will serve them together. Okay, and there you have it. All of our ingredients are prepped. The rice cooker is going, and once, the porridge is almost done, I'll come back, finish the green beans like I said. But in the meantime, we do have 55 more minutes to wait. So once this cooks, I will be back and see you guys then. So nice. Hello there. There is 5 minutes left on this rice cooker, so while we wait for this to finish, let's quickly go prep our green beans. Okay, water is coming to a boil, so we're gonna go in for 4 minutes. Okay, while these finish up, I'm actually going to start preheating our pan as well for the garlic. Okay, moment of truth. Ooh, that looks delicious. All right, let me plate this up and we'll be good to go. All right, and with that, it is time to eat. Now, I usually take the chicken out and just get some slices off of the bone here, like so. Put it in the congee. Of course, can't forget, got to season this, garnish with green onions. And what I like to do is actually salt to taste, although I did use quite a bit of chicken broth this time, so I'm thinking it'll be all right, but I do go in on the top with a dab of sesame oil, just like that. A little bit of white pepper, and of course you can salt to taste, but here we go, moment of truth. Boom, first bite. Oh, that is perfect. And of course, paired with a little bit of the green beans. So hearty, warm, filling. Shout out to the 80/20 series on Instagram. That's where I got this from. But such a good recipe, as well as with the few additional tweaks. But overall, this is the conclusion of day 4 of cooking. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I think I did say that we would have enough for 4 days, 2 servings, 2 portions, 2 people servings per day. And this is the last of the groceries. Now, on Fridays, I do like to do a steak meal, actually. That's kind of been the tradition that I've been going with, just, pan sear a steak and I eat that over rice and stuff like that, maybe with green beans sometimes. But this Friday or tomorrow is actually a little bit special, and we're gonna be doing a little bit something different, and you'll see why. You're gonna have to stay tuned for that. But anyways, this has been day 4. I'm going to demolish this porridge, and after that, I will see you for our finale tomorrow. Cheers. It's not even open. Okay, bye.
Actually, this looks very...
Round 2. Hey everyone, literally just got back, but if you couldn't tell, I did eat out tonight, and that is because it is actually my birthday of the day that I am filming this. I just wanted to, take you guys through a week of basically what I cook, go through all my, well, not all of my recipes, but a lot of my, tried and true recipes, and just share a little bit of my life with you guys. Once again, I do want to say, this is not a guide, this is not a tutorial, this is not like a cooking, how to cook video. You could do whatever, or you could copy me if you want, you could do your own thing if you want as well, but just know, if you get food poisoning, it is not my responsibility. Anyways, I'm about to cut the cake and all that. I will show you guys afterwards, but yeah, just wanted to say thank you very much for making it to the end of this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this new format, this new style of videos on the channel, and let me know if you'd like to see anything else about my life in the future. I will certainly be filming a lot, actually, a lot of content coming in the next few weeks, because I am actually going to Taiwan. So you can expect the Taiwan vlogs to be coming within the next couple of months, I would say, no promises, but yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in to the end. I am going to eat some very delicious cake. Actually, before I go, let me actually show you my cake. Look at this cake here. Bruh. We got Mai on the goddamn cake. That is insane. But yeah, I'm about to go and cut this cake. It's been a fun week. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear me. Happy birthday to you.